Well, Donald Trump says that he has big plans to fight terrorists. Hillary Clinton's got big plans, she says, that will fix the economy. Both candidates busy trying to outdo each other now on the campaign trail this week with these policy speeches. Our Wake News expert, political expert, Dr. Bart Rossi here in the studio talking about this strategy. It is good to get to the issues.
Oh, it is. It's nice to talk about something tangible, some meat and potatoes here.
Besides just personality. Let's look as we start our conversation here at the cover of Time magazine, which says it's going inside the meltdown of Donald Trump, because that is what dominated the conversation in the campaign for at least a week or more. He needs to recover from that if that's the kind of coverage he's going to get.
That's right. I mean, the cover kind of says it all, basically. He kind of melted down based on his own comments about himself. He got in the way of himself, basically. And what is he going to do now to go forward? So he came up with a policy speech, of course, on ISIS.
Right, his foreign policy speech. Let's take a listen to a little bit of what Donald Trump had to say, how he would take on terrorists, and then get your reaction to it. So here's Donald Trump.
We should only admit into this country those who share our values and respect our people. In the Cold War, we had an ideological screening test. The time is overdue to develop a new screening test for the threats we face today. I call it extreme vetting. I call it extreme vetting.
So he does have a proposal. You can talk about what he would like to do. Is this where he needs to go? Is it a good idea?
Well, I think it is a good idea, and what I like about his commentary, actually, is that ideology. He's bringing out the whole concept of ideology, because I think too many politicians are thinking about winning this war with bombs and airplanes and, military equipment. Not going to happen. He is right. It's the ideology, the internet, where people are going to be radicalized. That's what's going to happen in the future. So he's on point there. And also he says that we need a coalition, and he even names all the countries involved, and that particular coalition necessary to beat down this perverted ideology. Good thinking. On the other side of this, though, my comment is really very simplistic, and Obama's already been talking about that for years. We need a coalition of nations, he says, and we don't want to be the ones fighting a religious war by ourselves in the Middle East. So the Donald here, I think, has really taken something from what Obama's been doing, which is kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and then on the other side of this, with the testing of everybody coming in, well, there are about 181 million people that came into the United States in 2014. So now a psychological test. I mean, I know something about testing. And how would you develop a test to predict potential violence? How would it be reliable? And how would it be valid? Who would deliver the test? Would it be psychologists? Would you have follow-up interviews then? This is a big government job. This is big bureaucracy. I'm not sure he thought about that. And would you have false positives? People who don't score well on the test because they didn't understand the question so well, then they wouldn't come in. It could be a lot of problems there.
All right, lots to think about and look forward to that. Let's quickly talk about Hillary Clinton. She's been laying out her economic agenda, and here's what she's got to say.
But there are common sense things that your government could do that would give Americans more opportunities to succeed. Why don't we do it? Because powerful special interests and the tendency to put ideology ahead of political progress have led to gridlock in Congress.
Your thoughts?
I think this was fair at best. Basically, she said it was a policy speech. I think it was a strategy speech. So